matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna matata. Ain't no pat. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hello and welcome to another live episode of the O&G Strike Zone. Bryan Fulford, King Simba, Kelvin Rozier, and Marcus Green. What's good, brothers? How you doing, man? Feels like it's been a minute since we've all been on the screen at the same time, man. What's good? What's good, fellas?
Maybe
good to see you, Marcus.
Because
good to see
it
Kel.
has been a minute.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be with my brothers. I thought I was the outcast. Y'all had left me, but it's great to see you, fellas. And let's get it.
What's good? What's the latest, Marcus? It's been a minute since the folks have seen you. Give people an update. What you got going on these days?
Not a whole lot, but a lot at the same time.
I was gonna say what you want to share. It sounds like you kind of keep.
Hey, you said a
close
whole
to
lot
the
of
vest,
nothing.
Yeah,
Hey.
whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. I'm not telling y'all ninjas nothing.
No, just had some obligations last week, but back in the fold, back in the mix. Still trying to get over. 4 more games left.
Yeah. Put your hands up in the chat room if you think the 100 won halftime and the fifth quarter. I'm sorry. That's just me. I felt like we did. I know, some people are like, oh, we're not counting wins and losses, which that's a nice sentiment. But hell no, yeah. I thought we won that damn thing.
Well, are you referencing that well, you're referencing our band, but you talking about the band that quit, that said, took their ball home and ran.
Don't judge us. Don't judge us. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
You know what makes the 100 that make them the standard? No matter what kind of situation battle, they can tweak themselves and rise to the occasion and be champions, right? The fifth quarter. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows traditionally they do a little different thing. But now we're in the SWAC. We're going against one of the SWAC powerhouses in the fifth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And the song selection, the aggression, the power, but still the 100 sound. You say, okay, we can do the fifth quarter SWAC style and whoop your butt that way too. So the versatility of the 100 was on display. Jackson State did a good job. Now, don't get me wrong. Jackson State do what Jackson State do. I'm not saying they were bad. They were great.
Mm-hmm.
They were really good. I'm just saying the 100 was greater.
Yeah.
In every way. Good point.
Outstanding halftime. And look, what I found really funny, and of course I couldn't fully watch the halftime shows of either team, but as I'm watching during the commercial breaks, didn't it seem like the show that Jackson State put together, didn't it feel like a show that you would submit for entry for Band of the Year? I mean, was it me or was I the only one thinking that?
Very good point.
Right.
That show would score very well.
That show would have scored very well if you were submitting it for Band of the Year.
Yeah.
I just found that kind of funny. I found that kind of funny.
But you know how you know that in the band head atmosphere that the 100 showed out? There must be 1,000 videos with people rating and talking about the matchup, number one. And of course, it being the Boone going against the Boone, you're gonna get extra eyes anyway, because the Boone, from a media standpoint, with band heads, they get a lot of eyes. But the fact that you got all these different podcasters who do nothing but that, and they got all these breakdowns, and they going absolutely nuts. And when they reviewing these things, and particularly the 100, man, and saying how I've seen a lot of them. I don't typically watch a whole bunch of those, but I've seen so many. It was so many on YouTube and in the different social media spaces that I watched pretty much all of them, and it's been unanimous. They brought that smoke.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's all we can leave with, CB. All we got right now is our petty and our 100. That's all we got right now.
Doom, 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 doom. I love the petty too.
Exactly.
I can appreciate a little petty every now and then, Charles.
Exactly. Yeah. Bull said they didn't do a dance. Who didn't do a dance routine? J State did do a dance routine.
Yeah. That's.
Well, no, I mean, look, they let the J Sets do the dance routine, which is what they should do. Let that's what folks want to see. Let them,
that's not what they're known for anyway. And then technically, because they're the visiting team, they have a different
time.
Yeah, they have a different amount of time. They're only supposed to do 7.5 minutes, I think. But almost every band.
But again, it was a theme show. It was a theme show dedicated to Whitney Houston, wasn't it? Whitney Houston. I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on. But you're not going to submit that for the band of the year. And band of the year, please don't judge that. Please don't judge that performance. Don't judge it. Don't judge it. As good as it was, don't judge it. We don't want to offend. We don't want y'all to offend anybody. Anyway. All right. Well, that's right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
they're gonna be in your DMs, man.
That's all right. Come on in. Come on into the DMs. It don't matter. I'm over it all. Between everything. Look, I'm a rant here for a second, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a personal privilege here. Between everything that FAMU does is not good right now. We complaining about everything. We complain, the water ain't cold enough. The ice is too hot. This coach ain't doing this. This team looks like this. I mean, man, look, I love us to death. But man, we're so hurt and broken right now because of this daggone football season, and it's bleeding into everything. It's bleeding into everything we do. So I'm just, come on in. You want to come in the DMs? It's open. It's there. Come on. It don't matter. I'm so busy at work and everything else going on. I probably won't see it until about 2 days later. It's all good. But anyway, we'll get right. Good show, by the way. Hey, got to give a shout out to Keith, Mr. Campbell, Tashay, you, Kelvin. You guys did a great job on the Monday night review. Really enjoyed it. I can tell it was one of those shows that people had things to get off their chest because y'all went long, man. I was
2 hours.
I almost thought about joining y'all, but by the time my practice ended, I was like, I wonder if I should join the show. They still going. I said, nah. So I mean, I was able to enjoy almost a whole nother hour after my practice ended around 8:00, 8:10. So good stuff. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about on tonight's show. Again, I feel like we're still into that sports equinox of just all kinds of stuff going on. The start of the basketball season kicked off on Monday night, kicked us in the teeth a little bit, but we will rebound. We've got bowling's in action, tennis is in action, softball's in action. Volleyball's in action, football's in. I mean, it's the real bleed over of everything that's happening right now. So many sports to talk about. We'll try to get to it all. We got a good guest lineup coming up tonight. Bottom of the hour coming up. We've got Dennis Driscoll coming in to join us for the making his second appearance. Of course, Dennis is the associate athletic director of branding and technology. Old school terminology might say SID. This, old school definition, that's what you call it. So Dennis is coming in at the bottom of the hour. Also, at the top of hour 2, Maya Ellison returning to the show. She is, of course, a 2-time Emmy Award-winning journalist, a FAMU grad, coming in as now she is an anchor in Little Rock, Arkansas. I think the channel is THV11 in Arkansas, Little Rock. And, of course, the Rattlers are coming to Pine Bluff, which I think, looking at the map, is maybe about 30 minutes south. We'll find out from Maya. Find out if she's going to actually get a chance to come down to the game. So she is doing her thing out there in Little Rock, Arkansas. And then at the bottom of hour 2, making her second appearance on the Black College Sports Network this week, none other than LivForHoops, Liv Antilla coming on. If you missed Liv's HBCU breakdown on our show on Sunday night, I would highly recommend you go back and check it out. I did clip it. It's on the My JBN Online YouTube page. But I mean, she gave a great breakdown on Division I, Division II, NAIA, men and women's HBCU basketball. Great conversation. If you're looking to try to catch up, like you've been away, nobody catches you up like Liv. But Liv's going to give us some specified contacts, and she's going to break down a little bit of the FAMU men and women's season, and then maybe some things in the swag. Who is it? It's like Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Is there a guest at the door? There's a guest at the door. I wonder who can it be? Loaded show tonight. Folks blowing Kelvin up already, huh?
It's a coach.
So it's a coach. Coach is already calling. Somebody coaches. Let's see. I saw Erie post something about softball.
They won today.
Yeah. Another good win for softball. 11-2.
Dominant win. I outside of the I hadn't heard anything about the other one, but
Hollow's saying it's the opposite.
Uh-oh. That we lost?
No, he was talking about. I asked about the FSU game because
he's talking about the salt. Yeah.
We won all the rest of them. So
yeah. I mean, that was
and we got a new signee or a new commit
for softball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that just dropped today. So I guess we can find some time to talk about that. I don't know. You got the young lady's name and everything right now, Marcus?
I do. But I don't want to preclude any. I don't want to.
You want what?
Well, we'll go ahead and go through the roll call and all the intro stuff.
Oh man. Yeah. Look, that's why I put the chat. Look, we're so far into the show, I don't even know where to start. I can go back and maybe get the first few because I don't know where I started and kicked on the chat. I think Miak Fan was the first one to jump in there.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I think he was the first one to jump in there. Jimmy Mack jumped in as well. Good to see you, Jimmy. Bull came in early. Kent Rozier got in there early before we kicked off the show. The early birds. Love to see it. Watch JDTV jumped in early. Meredith got in there early. Good to see you, Meredith. Thanks for being a JBS subscriber. Edwin Moore checking in from the DFW. B. Starks in the house. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber. JT as well. Good to see you, JT. Makiba West, good to see you. Thank you for checking in. Ashton Harris. I saw Ashton this weekend. Good to see you, Ash. Delaner 100 checking in. Good to see you. Mary 305.
Hey, Auntie.
Thank you for being a JBN subscriber. She agrees with me, 100. Marvin Allen checking in. Good to see you, Marvin.
Duo.
Little baby in the house. Little baby.
Hey, big little baby.
Marcus.
Megan.
Middle Georgia checking in. Thank you for being a JB. And Marcus was a little hot about having to make that trip, boy. I saw that post, Marcus. He was not happy. But we're glad you came, though, Marcus. We're glad you came all the same. Tony checking in. Good to see you, Tony. Kev from Tally checking in.
What's up, Kev?
Chuck Hunt in the house.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah. V and Matt checking in.
What's up, V Matt?
Gail, good to see you, Gail.
What's up, Gail?
JBN subscriber. EA coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't the norm. It ain't the norm, but it is what it is. Good to see you, C Bishop. Maybe we can get Charles back in. We can't. We had I don't think it matters at this point. Maybe we just don't have anybody. Maybe we just don't have anybody from JSU on going forward. We love y'all. Maybe we'll talk to you after the game.
Yeah. You right?
Running a bad streak right now. Shako in the house. Good to see you. I think that's
yeah,
I think that's it's Wilson. Gonna be checking in. Obviously, the Lady Rattlers will be up in the area.
And Marcus is supposed to be in the house.
Oh, hey, special announcement. Marcus taking a road trip.
Hey, we're going to put pressure on him. So y'all make sure y'all tell y'all DP folks, y'all DMV folks, y'all make sure y'all tell us if he don't show up.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim. Look, man, we got to get that money, Tim. We got to get that money. We need money in the program. We had to go across the street. It's a good paycheck, and it's a short trip. So there's no, I hate to say it, but that's what it was. I know it doesn't make everybody happy, but it was what it was. So, yep, exactly. So, yeah, Marcus says he will be in the house at the women's game,
and Liv will be there too. So we gonna make sure.
Wait a minute, Liv is gonna be there.
We gonna get him there. I think she come on later, but she said earlier she was gonna be there.
Man, okay. Look at that. Marcus gonna get a chance to meet Liv even before me too. Man, okay. That's okay. All right. Well, we've got a little bit of time here before we get into it. Let's just do a quick recap. Basketball season kicked off on Monday night.
Being the operative word.
Literally being the operative word. The women took a tough one, 112. The men, we had better moments in the first two TV timeouts of that game. I mean, at one point we were up 11-5, I think, early in that game.
From some of the highlights I saw, it was we were good up until like around the 20s. We were leading up until around 21, 22 points. I don't know what time in the first half, but we were hanging in there. Then after that, of course, there's USF highlights, but they were showing the scroll at the bottom of the score.
Yeah, on the men's side,
neither
one of our 7-footers played, and we had another player who didn't play, and we'll look even though we look solid with what we had, we'll look a lot different in a few weeks. A lot different.
Yeah, EA says we had a good crowd at USF. That's good to hear. Good to hear. I'll tell you that the first, I don't know what Lil Baby said something about 20 turnovers. I didn't check the box score, so I mean you'd have to tell me.
Yeah. We went on a turnover spree.
Yeah, I do like the fact that we, for the second game in a row against, I don't know what you call, I guess, power major programs, right?
Powerful.
Whatever. We've come out we've looked good in the first 10 minutes. I thought against Florida State we looked competitive in the first 10 minutes. First 10 minutes of this game, we looked competitive. And then you saw it started to get away once the foul situation started to change a little bit. And so we just have to find that consistency in the second half of the first half, the last 10 minutes. And then I think coming out of, into the second half,
Well,
so
again,
I guess that's just kind
of once we have our full squad, man, we have defense in the post as well as offense in the post, and then we'll have our starting point guard, our distributor. Once we get those things, we got wings, we got good length, we got guys who can play pretty good defense. But we need that flow general. It's coming.
Ty Shirley had another big night. I believe 19 in this game. He shot 50% from the field. I know that. I was looking at some of the stats. He did shoot really well. And so, second, this is the first game that counts. But, we do know he scored 25 against Florida State. Looked pretty good in that game as well. And
he's not playing his natural position. Like I say,
what is his natural?
When we get full strength, he won't have to be at the 5.
Okay. Oh well, we got him play him at the 5. Okay, well, yeah, definitely we don't have to do that. But yeah, it's good to see a young man who didn't get a lot of minutes due to injury last year. Has some success early, and we just got to keep that going. We just got to really keep that going. And
he can play inside out too.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, just some of the offensive highlights from game number 1. And of course, game number 2 will be coming up for both teams, actually, as both the men and the women will be in action on Saturday. A home game Saturday, 1:00 in the Al Lawson Center. We welcome in Kennesaw State for 1 p.m. tip-off, and that should be a good crowd. I hope because obviously that game time is a couple hours before the football game kicks off. I don't know if the university is doing anything where it'd be good if they cut on the TV stream on the big screen and let people kind of hang around a little while and watch the football game after the basketball game. Kind of encourage people to come down to the Lawson Center and then hang around a little bit and watch a little bit of the football game.
I would definitely be in his house, and I know Gil will be definitely in his house.
Yeah. And then, of course, the women, after that, they're going to look to try to rebound. They go to D.C., and they take on Howard. Howard, of course, the Howard Lady Bison got a big win to open up the season. Went and knocked off Providence. Providence, a Big East women's team. I don't know where Providence is ranked, but I know anytime our schools can go on the road and get a win, it helps the conference out.
And Howard got some ballers, man. They got some ballers. I remember.
It'd be interesting to. Yeah, they had a good team last year. It'd be interesting to hear from Liv where she sees this Howard team being better than last year. And, I think the one bright spot, if I'm not mistaken, for the women from game number 1, there wasn't a lot, but the one bright spot was probably freshman point guard. I'm trying to find her name here. Ellington.
Yes, Cornelia.
Cornelia Ellington, off the bench, played 31 minutes, 6 of 18 from the field, 16 points to lead the team in scoring. True freshman in her first collegiate game, scoring 16 points and leading all scorers. I mean, that's saying a lot. That's big time.
Yep.
Under difficult situations, no doubt, but you just love to see it. So it's a good start. And, again, we'll talk to Liv at the bottom of hour 1. 2, bottom of hour 2.
Go.
Thank you. We'll talk to Liv and kind of find out about Howard and just these starts.
Yeah.
But
I watched the end of that BCU game too. And overtime. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
they should have won. The referees get involved at some point. I think all the points in the overtime for Auburn was at the line, if not all, most of them.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. If you caught the show on Sunday night, Liv told us to pay attention to that Bethune-Cookman game over Auburn, and sure enough, she was dead on about that. And I think they lost in overtime by 5, 95-90. So she called that one. So we'll see what other tidbits, some other games. I know there's some other games happening right now within the SWAC around, so we'll kind of scoreboard watch while we can and kind of see what's there. But let's go ahead and take our first break, gentlemen. As when we come back, Dennis Driscoll will join the show. Of course, Dennis is the Associate Athletic Director, Branding and Technology, and we'll kind of find out how he's adjusting in year number. Well, is it still first year or is it year number 2? Kind of
year number 1.
You're still year 1. Still year 1.
It hasn't been a year.
I was going to say first football season. So, I mean, coming in from the summer, first football season, and getting acclimated to all the challenges of his job and his role. So we'll hear from him as we come into the bottom. We come back from this short break. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Hit the thumbs up and the like button if you would. We got a great show for you tonight. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
College football fans, the Cricket Celebration Bowl is celebrating 10 years of crowning an HBCU national champion. A champion will rise at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on December 13th as the MEAC and SWAC champions clash in Atlanta. Join us for championship football, interactive fan experiences, and iconic marching bands. It's an HBCU family reunion that you don't want to miss. See who will be crowned the next HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Marcus, Kelvin, and it's a pleasure to have on for the second time on the show none other than the man himself, Mr. Dennis Driscoll. Dennis, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Bryan. How are you?
Hey, man, we making it, man. We surviving. We're doing well. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, it's 8:36, as you can tell. I'm in my office, so the work never stops. But you know, at the end of the day, have a great job. Get to work in college sports. So, you know, I think in today's era, everyone's always wants to find something to complain about with NIL and, you know, the way college sports is. But at the end of the day, you know, this is a institution of higher learning and education, and we're here to support our student athletes and students. But I want to say you had a really good idea about putting the football game on the Jumbotron on Saturday. So I might see if we can get that done. So, you know, if that happens, credit goes to you, Bryan.
Well, hey, you know, we'll take that as a show suggestion, show compliment. You know, credit the show. It's about we, not me. You know, all that good stuff. But hey, speaking of, before we get into all the athletics and FAMU athletics stuff,
congratulations.
Exactly, man. You made a big life decision, a big life move, man. Congratulations to you and the future Mr. Driscoll. Tell us a little bit about you and the future Mrs. man.
Yeah, well, her name is Brandy. She's from Birmingham. I met her when I was at Alabama State, and it was literally, I want to say it was love at first sight, but it was our first date was on at Topgolf, and that's how we literally kicked off our relationship. And it's been, you know, been together for a little bit over a year, about 15 months. Wow. So she's excited to come to Tallahassee. We're going to get married in Monticello and at the Clark House in November 7th of next year, which is, you know, a Saturday during football season. So I'm still trying to figure out who we're playing that day.
Dennis, Dennis, how can you, what? Dennis, how can you get married during the football season, Dennis?
So she knows what goes into this job. Like, and she knows, like, she's marrying into this. So she knows for the rest of our life that she's going to have to plan everything around my job, or, you know, everything that goes with that. So she said, you know what, the one thing I want is a fall wedding. And then I was like, okay. I mean,
well, there you go.
In a discussion.
Man, I tell you.
You don't want to hear that for the next 50 years.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. All right. I'm gonna take notes though on that Topgolf suggestion. I took that down as a note. Take them to Topgolf, and maybe one day, you know, they'll marry you. I got that. I hope maybe it works out. I don't know if it works out like that exactly, but you know, I'll take that. I'll take that note. Take that note down. Good stuff. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Let's talk about, you know, all the sports are going on right now. You got bowling, you got fall, softball, baseball, you got football, basketball, men's and women. I think tennis just finishing up, golf just finished up their fall schedule. So, and it's just you and a team of students and so forth. Talk about how you strategically try to plan it around and get everybody to shine, the programs and the students, right, and your team.
So we have a team of 20 students. They're every major possible on this campus, but we don't discriminate against what their major is. You know, if they're criminal justice, if they want to work for a team or be involved in the program, we'll definitely let them do that. So about 20 kids, and they're assigned to each sport. So, like, for example, if we have someone that really likes track and field or cross country, and that's a sport they want to work with, then we assign them with that team. And we're still going through that process as well. This fall has been a kind of a point where, okay, we have a group of solid students that start, and then we go through the fall. And there's going to be times where, a student doesn't want to do it anymore. They didn't think what it was, or there might be a time where we find out a student is better at this than that, and just kind of try to max or to match what their strengths are. And as you can imagine, you have a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds. What do you think they all want to do?
Football?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that too, but they want to work in social media. So we're really heavy on social media and photographers. The traditional SID role, have a couple of kids that I'm working with that, and in that aspect, I have to do a lot of hands-on training. I have a student named Isabella Lewis. She's been doing stuff with volleyball, and I'm slowly getting her trained in that so she can do more sports later in the spring and maybe even next year as well, and just kind of start at the beginning, teach them the basics, who, what, where, why, and how when it comes to writing, and just introduce them to a part of college sports that maybe not a lot of people know or have experience with. And that's when it goes back to that, we are a place of higher ed. I feel like my role is to teach and develop these young rattlers to graduate and become adult rattlers and get a job when they leave Tallahassee. And that's been my philosophy wherever I've worked at. And I do have a little SID tree out there. Like if you were to put that, you would see kids that work in pro sports, college sports. Some have gone on to be teachers and went into other different realms as well. But at the end of the day, that's what I want to do, is just make sure that I'm here for the students and provide them with opportunities to, get that job. And FAMU, the brand is strong as ever. People want to hire FAMU students when they graduate, and we are an NCAA Division I program. So that's just you can definitely learn and get that job, man.
Okay.
Marcus? Go ahead, Marcus.
Actually, I have a double question. But first and foremost, welcome, Dennis, for coming on the show. I think I might have missed the last time you came on. I guess the first thing I want to ask, what was the most challenging aspect of when you first took the job in the first couple months? And then the second, based on your title, how much interaction, and Kelvin, you might have to help me, I believe it's Miss Robinson. Is it Miss Robinson that we had on a couple years ago as it relates to branding and doing things like that? I don't know how closely your roles overlap in terms of marketing, branding, and some of the things that the paraphernalia and items that are available for purchase.
So the first part, the most challenging aspect was that you're in a new place, a new location, a new way of doing things, and just kind of figuring out what the FAMU way is. Each institution operates differently. So just kind of finding out what that is. And for me, I always struggle with, and I get there, but how do I pay bills? That process. And I've been able to figure that out. And then just I would say, knowing what I had from a talent level with the current students that we have, and then in May we had a lot of students graduate and move on to different opportunities. So I had to kind of re-recruit a bunch of kids, and we have veterans that are back. It's a small group, about 4 to 5, but then 15 kids that are newcomers. So trying to mesh them together. And what we've had is student leaders that have come from that veteran group, and they're able to take the lead on some aspects as well. And the second part of your question about branding,
Yes, and Kelvin, you may have to help me with the name. I don't know if it's Miss Robinson or Miss
No,
Thompson.
it was Sabrina Thompson you talking about.
Miss Thompson. Yes, I'm sorry, I had the wrong name. Yeah, I don't know how with the title that you have, Senior Associate AD for Brand Advancement, and I guess she's in the role where she's, I don't know exactly.
She works out of the foundation, and she was overseeing the CSC, the licensing stuff for the university, but athletics too.
So I would say, so the brand advancement title, it oversees comms and logos and marks and make sure that they're used the right way. So one thing I always do, and I want to make sure we get our right logos out there. And I would say one thing that it's been interesting is to see, like with the rattler head, the tongue, one that we're supposed to be using right now is the darker green, and there's also the light green one out there, and then also the bald rattler head as well. That's not supposed to. And just get eyes on what we're putting out there, and make sure that there's processes in place that just those small things that we don't miss on, because. Okay, the Midwest, and I always look at the logos that the Buffs had, or Nebraska, or the Broncos, and they've developed what their new logos are now, and in their new fonts. And I see that people still use that stuff to this day. They just don't know any better. So I just want to make sure with the rattler head and we use the right marks to just so it's consistent, and that the branding's right, and just put it in the public's head that, and it takes time, it's going to take a while, but this is the way we're supposed to look and why. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to the other side of campus, we send them the stuff, and we make sure that's trademarked and it has the right aspects of it. And that's really my relationship with licensing as of now. Right now, my job is very heavy on the sports information part. And I would say it probably takes up 80% of my time. And then social media and logos and branding probably takes up the other part of it as well.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dennis, you have, obviously this is the first FAMU football season that you've had a chance to go through, but you're not a stranger to SWAC football, having been at Alabama State, having been at Jackson State, two of our Eastern Division rivals. What's this football season been like for you, kind of being in the lead role as it relates to the communications department?
It's been, man, I got so many words I can use to describe it, but it's been fun. It's been challenging. It's been enlightening. I always knew that FAMU fans are educated and they know what they're talking about. And I would say that the greatest experience so far was to see homecoming. Like, I've heard about Perry Street, but I saw Perry Street for the first time after the game. Walked down, I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like I was like, "My God!" I felt like it was Mardi Gras. Yeah, but that really was awesome to see, because I would put that homecoming, or our homecoming, up against any SWAC school. I've done Jackson State, as you mentioned. Alabama State. I've been to other homecomings as well, and it was crazy, but fun. And when it comes to our football program, like, I've always known that FAMU cares, and that's been evident of this past year. Very passionate fan base, and it shows. Very vocal, very proud, and that's what you want to see, is someone who works in the athletic department is you want to see the support on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, see what's going on social media and out in the community. And I would put FAMU against anyone. And that's just a testament to the fan base that's been developed for the past 100 years. And it's just, it's an honor to be a part of it, because FAMU, you know, it's bigger than anyone else. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So Dennis, I want you to talk about the why Rattler Plus. You kind of got into it previously, but why Rattler Plus went away, and talk about, you know, the fact that Swag TV is picking up some of that. And then the follow-up question to that is, how involved are you in terms of the actual production? Does, you know, because I know at each university there's a team that does a lot of the production. Is that your team? Is that Jeff? Kind of just talk about how the sausage is made.
So Rattler Plus is on pause right now, and we've hidden it from the website, so you can't sign up. And we decided, in the best interest for our fans, that if you purchased it in August and September and October, we went back and we refunded that purchase. So we haven't been charging anyone on it. And the reason why we went to SWAC TV is that's where everyone's going with their broadcasting. I know that Jackson State and Alabama State and the other departments in our conference that have had their own in-house network, they're going away from that, moving everything to SWAC TV. And if we put all of our events on the network, then at the end of the year, we're going to have a higher distribution from the conference. I don't know what that amount is, but it allows us the opportunity to have more funds that are available to us at the end of the year. And it's free, no charge at all. And Mr. Walker, who I call the president, because he can fix anything. So, but his crew has that for us, and they set up the broadcast, and we're gonna have a play-by-play person and analyst who will be doing that as well, and to make it a first-class experience. Can't say who it is quite yet, still working through a couple of things, but probably should know be able to say who they are by Friday at the latest. But our goal is with SWAC TV, is to support the conference in this endeavor as well, and show that we're on board on that. And SWAC TV is on an app. You can watch it online as well. And I think it's a great product for FAMU fans and the conference as a whole.
Absolutely. SWAC TV, I'm glad it's here. It's because it makes it more consistent and accessible when the teams travel. And like, as you say, there's no cost, not hidden behind a paywall. The more in today's digital world, the more you can get your exposure, your teams out there. You know, that's kind of the name of the game. And for those of us who grew up with Jeff, his nickname is MacGyver. You're right. He can fix anything with gum and a pen.
Well, I told him he should run for president because he can fix anything. So, I mean, maybe, the problems our country has, Jeff Walker could probably fix it.
Exactly. Oh, just one other thing, Dennis. Yeah. In terms of updating rosters, headshots, information, when does that process start, and what goes into, if there's a delay? Typically, what are some of the challenges?
So it's one of the benefits of working here is we have great students, but also students as well. They have classes and they have other duties as well. So I rely on them to do our photo shoots and to help with that aspect. They're very talented with that. It takes time for that process to happen. Sometimes teams want to do their photos in a jersey that hasn't quite came in yet because it's in the new jersey and they want to show it on the website. So I mean, there's lots of factors as to why it could be delayed a bit. Students also have their schedules as well. So, we might take a team's photos all on a one day, but there's a couple stragglers that couldn't make it. So we got to adjust and get that updated as well. So it's all stuff that it's going to get up as soon as we can get it up. If I don't have a photo, then, I can't post it on the website, but I know there's a couple men's basketball photos that we took the other day. Those are going to get updated pretty soon. And then one women's photo I'm searching for that we're going to post. So tennis is coming up too, same as bowling as well. So all the winter sports are going to be done soon. We did softball media day a couple weeks ago. They're taking their headshots next week as well. Baseball's up next. Making sure they get through that pipeline. And it's students that we rely on to start the process, and then make, as you say, that's how the sausage is made from beginning to end.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Dennis, I wanted to follow up on the question that Kelvin asked a couple minutes ago as it relates to, I guess, the SWAC TV broadcasts. And I guess my question, and I don't know if it's beyond your purview, but I happened to watch when FAMU was playing Grambling out at Grambling, and they had some young ladies actually giving play-by-play, and I don't know if I would call it analysis, but they were giving the play-by-play as best they could. I don't believe they're former volleyball players, at least by the discussion. But I didn't know if some of the other Olympic sports, if there's anything in the works to have some type of play-by-play or analyst or even some commentary, because I know on the volleyball game it's more or less a live shot. So, and I don't know what other sports will be covered under the SWAC TV auspices. I mean, I don't know, will we be looking at baseball and softball? I don't know if we have all the physical capabilities to get those sports that aren't inside of an arena.
Right. So it's going to be all sports. And volleyball was, that was I don't want to say it was the guinea pig, but we just wanted to make sure that been able to get the broadcast up. That was the first time that we did it. So unfortunately, I would rather have a broadcast that doesn't have a play-by-play person or analyst instead of having one that has that, but it's annoying to listen to because they don't know what they're talking about. And I know this aspect, this is a place of higher ed, but we also, I know talking to the conference office, like they want that product to be as professional as possible.
Absolutely.
And it's good. I would say it's, we're starting small and we're going to just continue to get better and add different elements with it. We're going to be able to sell our own ads on the network as well. And that could be a place too that we can generate revenue too. So start small and then just make it better over time.
Okay. Is there any thought or any consideration, either working with Vaughn or someone else, to seek out perhaps former high school athletes in a given sport who may want to provide some of that analysis as a play-by-play or analyst during the game? Say if someone is not going to play volleyball after high school, but she happens to matriculate at FAMU and say she's in SBI, would there be an opportunity for her, or would there be any outreach from either athletics or the School of Journalism to pull those people in to fill in that role if it's so desired?
Yeah, I mean, there's always an opportunity there. Had minor discussions with that. I'd say initially the interns that we wanted to pull in were graphics and social media. So in my initial call for people to come, I didn't include broadcast because at that time I wasn't at the forefront of my mind. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to learn how to or try to broadcast, are more than open to that. I would compare it to our public address announcer that we used for volleyball this year and that we're going to use for men's and women's basketball. His name is Wesley, and he's a student, and he's fantastic.
He does a good job. He does a real good job.
So that's the type of quality that we're looking for. You know, I don't want to poke fun at Valley, but I'll poke fun at Valley. A couple of years ago, you know, they had a gentleman on there, and their broadcast went kind of viral because of they were country.
Cletus and Uncle Ruckus.
So
yes,
like
low.
You know,
go ahead, say it.
I don't think that is what we want at FAMU. So
you're right. You're right about that.
So that's kind of what my thoughts are on that. You know, it's
Okay.
Starting small. And so is everyone in the conference too. Like, this is new for everyone. So you're going to slowly see us and then other SWAC schools just get better with using SWAC TV and maximizing what it can do for the conference and for each institution as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Who was it? We were talking about that on another show, that after that viral moment from Valley, instead of just like feeding on to that and just letting that thing ride, they put their next couple of broadcasts behind a paywall. And it was just kind of like, I was like, y'all, you know, you had all these eyes coming in watching, and then all of a sudden you thought that people wanted to watch more Valley sports, so you put it behind a paywall. Just like totally missed the mark there. It was like, no one wants to watch Valley sports. We're watching because of the commentators. We want to hear the nonsense. We don't want to watch the action. But anyway, you know, they totally missed the mark on that.
They certainly did.
All right, couple of questions here before we get you out of here, Dennis. Let me see. I'm assuming this is related to the first men's basketball game. First men's basketball game, Saturday, 1 o'clock against Kennesaw. Will it be streamed on SWAC TV?
Yes.
All right.
All basketball games are going to be, unless ESPN picks it up, everything's going to be on SWAC TV. So bookmark that on your computer. That's where it's going to live.
Exactly. Now, and I will say this. The beautiful thing about SWAC TV, most TVs are smart TVs.
Yeah.
All you have to do, if you're wanting to watch SWAC TV literally on a TV, download the SWAC TV app. You can do it if you're a Amazon Prime watcher. Download it onto your Amazon Fire Stick and then watch it on your TV. It's beautiful. Full HD, 1080. Like, sometimes I'll start here on my phone watching the volleyball, and I'll be like, wait a minute, why am I trying to watch this volleyball match here? I just go to the TV, hook up my Fire Stick, and boom, I got the volleyball match on full screen. And like, I think I saw Gail maybe had mentioned something about the single shot for volleyball. Well, again, because that's a test. That's a test model. I'm assuming for basketball, we'll have a little more, it'll be more of a pan. You'll have a couple of cameras for that one. It won't be a static shot for volleyball.
No,
for basketball, rather.
We're going to have three cameras for basketball. We are going to have play-by-play in color. And I think it's going to be a really good broadcast. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited to work with Jeff Walker. He's a pro's pro, and he makes a lot of things go. Like, I just can't articulate enough how Jeff Walker is so essential for this to work on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
No, EA, exactly. Jackson State will no longer charge $20. Everybody who was charging $20, no one will be doing that anymore. All the content will be going on SWAC TV. Thank you.
Do you want to know a funny story about that? So
please.
At Jackson State, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I created the Jackson State Sports Network.
Oh,
and that $20, that I was the original person that set that price. 5 years ago, and they haven't changed it. So you can blame me.
Well, look, I mean, there were people who were paying for it. I mean, I just wasn't going to be one of them, and I was going to complain every time about it. But somebody was paying for it because, I mean, they had it for so long. So, you know, the old content. Someone had asked about the old content that was previously on Rattlers Plus. Will that get moved over to SWAC TV?
Maybe, but initially what we're going to try to do is move that over to our YouTube channel. And that's what, I mean, yes, SWAC TV eventually, but in the short term, it's going to move over to YouTube TV. And that's just going to be a process of us to do that. Probably not in the middle of this season, but as we get towards the end of football and then
summer intern project.
Yeah, that's definitely someone wants to get class credit. They can definitely come and talk to me about that. So.
I noticed, speaking of the YouTube channel, we've seen a few bowling and some other live events streaming. I caught it this past weekend. With the decision to do it on YouTube versus SWAC TV was what, or how did that all play out?
Just that's kind of a niche thing for bowling. I've seen that at other schools too, that they either go Facebook Live or they go to YouTube. And bowling doesn't really have the infrastructure to do a SWAC TV broadcast quite yet. I know that they eventually want to do that, but they just got to find out how to make that work and have all the schools do it. Like that's the thing. Like, not FAMU is able to do it because we have the resources and we have the support. There's other schools in this conference that don't have that. So I would say that's, as we navigate that, you'll see more of that.
No, we're not going to have look, you guys got so spoiled with having SWAC games on YouTube. Y'all want a chat room so you can chat. No, when you watch an ACC basketball game.
Give the people what they want. Give the people what they want.
No.
This is not an ACC basketball game.
You want a chat room so you can run smack talk during the game. Oh, that's funny. Good stuff.
Or a help coach.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be able to help the coaching out during the game. That's what y'all really want to do. Last thing, I saw somebody post a comment where it had to do with coaches shows. This was a year where we didn't see a Coach Cozy show. But the question, will we see anything basketball related in terms of coaches shows with Coach Ward or Coach Gordon? Any plans? Working
through that with that. Coach Ward wants to do a show.
Okay.
Coach Gordon wants to do his show. Just working through that process right now. My guess it probably wouldn't be until conference play starts, just because the non-conference portion of our schedule is crazy. They're going to be living in a suitcase for the next 2 months. But once conference play starts, we're going to be on more of a routine to do that. And I know I heard from Rattler Nation, they were not pleased that Coach Coley didn't have a show this past fall. Just weren't able to make that happen. I apologize. I'll take the L on that. But definitely hoops is something that we're working through right now to make sure we can get that to happen. I mean, this is a big year for our basketball teams. I call him Coach Heisman. Coach Heisman he's very accessible. He wants to do it. And he's a coach's coach.
Mm-hmm. I lied. I had one last question. I don't know. It came to me as you said, Coach Heisman. Obviously, you've had the experience of being with a high-profile coach, and you went through the whole prime era at the school in Mississippi. What do you? How will the Coach Charlie Ward era be? Similar? Has it been similar? How will it be different? Just maybe give us some thoughts on what it's like when you have someone that has such a strong college presence, background, history like Charlie Ward has, having already gone through that experience one time before?
I would say so. They're different and they're the same in so many aspects. You know, Coach Ward did not come into the Lawson Center in an Escalade, so that's not him. You know? But they both have their processes that I've seen. You know, very process oriented, and they're really good teachers, and the staff as well is really good teachers. And if you teach the game well, usually you see that on the court. And the assistant coaches that Coach Prime had at Jackson State, they're great teachers. And so is Coach Prime. Like he can coach. Like people say, oh, he's just all about, you know, the fame and all that. No, he's an old school coach. And Coach Ward, he's very, you know, he slows things down that I've seen the staff do that as well. And they're just very detail oriented, and it's a detailed process. So whatever that process is, it seems very similar when I see that. So I would not be surprised if we have a really good year on the men's team. We have a really good year on the women's team. The women's team has some new staff as well, and they seem like they're really good teachers as well. So, you know, it's the beginning of the basketball season. So, you know, right now we're playing these Power 4 teams or group of five? I can't keep track anymore. But you're really going to see that coming to its own in conference play. And you see that every single year where SWAC programs will play, you know, in Indiana or a Howard or a Florida State, or you can name them all. And once we get into conference play, that's where you start to see the fruits from that labor happen.
Good stuff. All right, Dennis. Hey, man, we appreciate your time tonight. Appreciate all that you're doing. I know the grind is real. And, man, I appreciate all the work that you're putting in and everything that you're managing. And so on behalf of us here in the show, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you. I specifically appreciate you with the new gig and everything. You've been a big help with that. So I'm sorry I won't see you in Arkansas, but, you know, I'm sure we'll catch up here soon. So be well, man. Thank you for your time tonight. All right.
Thank you, fellas. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good one, Dennis.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Good stuff, folks. Dennis Driscoll joining the show. Hope it gave you some good background information again. Make sure you got that SWAC TV loaded up on your phones and your TV system. And I agree. I think Tony was talking about not being able to change the channels. I think that's an update 2.0. I think that'll be a great suggestion to you know, when they make some adjustments to the app. I think that'll be a big adjustment that they'll look to make. And how can they make it more accessible so that you can change to different games and be able to rewind? Because that's also a big, you know, feature that I think people want to have, is that rewind feature. So good stuff. Good stuff. Maybe we have to have, if we really want to do a chat room, maybe we have to do watch parties or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, the chat room, and people like it, man. You got to give the people what they want, man.
Spot. Anyway,
don't be the old man. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Yeah, you know, you'll exactly be that guy, especially when sponsors are involved. All right.
Yeah, that was my one question. I was like, you get something in the chat room.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. All right, let's take a break.
Kind of stuff, man, with AI and filters, man. You can delay it, stop it.
All right, so you say. Maya Ellison is in the waiting room, so let's get to Maya on the other side of this break. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
College football fans, a champion will rise in Atlanta on December 13th. MEAC champion, SWAC champion, the 10th Cricket Celebration Bowl, crowning an HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
ESPN Events presents Red Lobster Band of the Year. Returning to Atlanta on December 12th, 4 bands will qualify for the big stage, where 2 national champions will be crowned. Follow us for rankings updates throughout the season, and join us on December 12th. For event and ticket information, visit bandoftheyear.com.
Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, and just waiting on our next guest, Maya Ellison, to join us. She's going to be joining us, and I think we got her. Let's get ready to bring Maya on the show. Joining us right now from Little Rock, Arkansas, THV 11's own Maya Ellison. What's up, Maya? How you doing, Rattler?
Good. How are y'all? I haven't seen y'all in a minute.
What's happening?
Right? How you been?
And it's been good. Work has been working. Oh my gosh. Big changes since I last talked to y'all.
Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
Oh, y'all waiting on me? Okay. Well, the last time, I was on the show, I was working for the NCAA, so I finished up there and was able to do some amazing things and was so blessed for that opportunity. Got to go to the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma, got to cover football from D1 to D2, everything. Covered all sports. And then after that, I ended up getting a job. So I literally moved from Georgia to Little Rock, Arkansas. And I work for THV 11, which is one of the stations. It's a CBS affiliate here. And I do nothing but news, y'all. So completely different than talking about sports every day or sports all the time. And so we talk about politics, what's going on with elections. And of course now, which is, it's been sad covering the government shutdown, just being honest. I've been talking about that since October 1st. So that's kind of what I've been doing here. And then I do high school football sometimes on Friday. So that's something these boys in Arkansas, they know ball now. So it's been cool. It's been cool. And trying to keep up with our Rattlers, it has been really hard because I work during game days. But my dad and I have conversations about it all the time. And of course, seeing UAPB, they just beat Southern. So I'm excited for the game. I haven't been to a FAMU game in I don't know how long.
So is that confirmation that you'll be at the game Saturday?
Yes, I'm gonna be there. Are y'all making the drive down?
No, unfortunately, that's a little too far.
I'll be there. I do the broadcasting on the radio with Albert Chester, so we'll be there. Sending the signal back to 96.1 Jams in Tallahassee. So
I know that's right.
I have to reach out to you. Now, how far is Little Rock from Pine Bluff, or vice versa?
From where I am, so I live in Little Rock. I stay maybe about 45. I'm gonna just say an hour. It's probably about an hour. But it's a straight shot, literally. It's a pretty good drive, not gonna lie. But yeah, I've only been to UAPB a couple of times. And of course we do stories in Pine Bluff. So I'm getting to know that area a little bit. I will never claim them. As we know, this is also Razorback territory, which is new to me because I'm a Bulldogs fan. So I had to get used to all the territories in Arkansas. That's the other thing about moving from Georgia, going to school at FAM, and then moving to some rival states.
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
Well, Maya, thank you for joining us this evening. Glad you're able to squeeze us in. I don't know if you've had a chance. I guess you've had some conversations, and I don't know if you've had a chance to catch up on the season thus far. Yeah. But what have you heard from the UAPB side? What's been the hot thing there?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I wish that we would do more, and just being transparent, is talk more about UAPB and their football team. I have, of course, some coworkers who went to UAPB, and so we have conversations like that all the time. And I think their win against Southern was pretty good. I think, they were, from the conversations that I've heard, people are excited about that. They haven't had the greatest season. We're kind of on the same playing field. If I was looking at some stats before I joined y'all, and we're honestly kind of about the same, where we're averaging 345 yards per game for FAMU, and UAPB is doing wrote down 340. And so looking at a bunch of those stats, I mean, we're on the same playing field, and I think people are excited. One of my coworkers today, we just talked about it. She was like, I don't really care about the game. I just want the band to be there. So that's kind of like where everybody's head is at, which I'm like, dang, we really got to that point. And like my dad and I had conversations. He's been going to a lot of the games, so we catch up on that. And he tells me, FAMU is just falling short in areas like discipline and consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like dropping passes and all of those things. That I play tennis, so I call those unforced errors, right? And so we're making those errors and we're doing those things. And a lot of people are asking, what are we going to do when we play Pine Bluff? Because, we only have about 3 games left, I think, right? 3 games left in the season. And
after Pine Bluff,
after Pine Bluff, and they're all on the road too. So we have no more opportunities to play at home, which I feel like this is crazy, because the last time we talked, we were talking about a game that it was our last game that we played at home. So we're kind of back in that same position where we're on the road again. We don't necessarily have that like home advantage, and the way we've been performing, fans aren't too happy, but we're still holding on to hope, because that's what we do as Rattlers.
There you go.
I mean, give me some of that positive energy. See, I don't know. Folks in the chat room, they ain't got that kind of hope, but anyway.
Look, I can tell y'all, we keep it real on here. And my dad, he had us laughing, my mom and I. He was like, the games that we've been playing so far, they've been snatching the fangs from us. And I'm like, Daddy, they've been snatching the fangs from us. But no, I mean, we got to keep a positive attitude. There are times where we do perform and we execute well. But then for me, I question, do we continue to make excuses for drop passes, for missed opportunities? When we played Jackson State, that was the opportunity that would have make or break us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so like my dad and I will talk about that. We just had a conversation today too about it. But yeah, like that was our opportunity. And I was reading an article, and Coach Cozy said that, he's embarrassed with how the team is playing. I mean, I like his honesty. I think is admirable, and I respect him for it, because from a fan's perspective, it is embarrassing based off of how we've been performing, especially at home. And I mean, everybody was happy with, homecoming and things like that. Yeah, we beat Southern too, but at the same time, like, it was okay. So I don't know. I think we're on the same playing field, honestly, with UAPB. So I don't know how the game is going to go.
Well said. I think you summed it up right there, which has got us all like, oh man, we're on the same playing field as UAPB, man. I would have never thought we'd say that, but the truth hurts. The truth is what it is, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, I remember, let's see, I graduated in 2023, and that's when, like, we were on it. You know what I'm saying? 2022, we were on it. So from my perspective, covering them then and looking at them now, a lot of the guys, like, I'm just learning. A lot of the guys, like, I'm observing them from how are you on the field, or what is your discipline like? My dad was telling me when he went to the homecoming game, it was interesting how the players were coming out and, they just didn't look there mentally. So if I was reporting, I was like, where's your mindset at going into this game, or, finishing out the season as strong as you can, because it hasn't been looking that great.
See, those tough journalist questions from a 2-time award-winning journalist coming out. I see it. I see you working. Good stuff. Go ahead, Kelvin.
I'm interested in your transition, not doing sports to doing news. How is that for you, and just projecting forward? Do you like one better than the other, and where would you like to go?
Yeah, I mean, I love sports. Like, background on me, I started out doing sports in high school, but I've been doing journalism since I was 7. Like, literally, I have a video that I posted, and I did, like, the morning announcements because, my teachers were like, you should do it. Not knowing that was God putting me in that position to go forth and continue to do this, and being in organizations in Atlanta and getting the network opportunities and going to the Falcons games, like, I love that. There's a spark about, for me, doing sports. News can be, just being honest, news can be depressing. Like I was telling y'all, we've been covering the shutdown since it started. And every single day, when you hear stories like, I don't know how I'm gonna eat, right? I got 3 kids at the house, and it doesn't matter what you look like, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, no matter who you are, where you come from. Somebody told me today, you could be 1 check away from being in that position. And that is the hardest reality to hear. And so from a reporter perspective, you have to put yourself in a position of like, okay, I can't get so emotionally tied to the story. I can't get too emotional because we do talk about it every day, but there are times where it is hard. And so weighing the two, I would love to stay in sports. That's my trajectory. That's where I want to go. But I also see opportunities to make a change within news, being able to tell the stories that we don't hear every day. I just did a story the other day, a woman, she was battling cancer, and she's also adopted. And so she just had a surgery today, but come to find out, she just met her birth mom a couple days ago for the very first time. She's 41 years old. So it's stories like that I love to do outside of tornadoes and politics and things like that. But the transition was all right. Like being in Arkansas, being in Little Rock, y'all already know, completely different from being in Atlanta. I'm gonna just be honest, but no, I mean, the transition, I'm just blessed to have the opportunity and blessed to be in a position where I talk to people, and I tell my mom, it's so interesting how every time I talk to someone, they always mention how God has worked in their life or how the Lord has worked with them. And so I just find that joy through that. And, got to do what I got to do every day.
All right.
Let me ask a follow-up to that. It sounds like you have maybe, covering stories outside of sports. Do you feel that you are growing maybe in a way that maybe you didn't anticipate when you took this transition from sports to talking news? Do you find yourself growing, and maybe in your conversations and just your worldview is maybe a little bit different or a little broader now?
Oh, of course. Like I learn every single day. I've been here for about a year and some change. I come up on 2 years in July. And so every time I talk to someone, I learn a different perspective. I hear a different story. And it doesn't matter what it is. In Arkansas, there are a lot of rural communities. And I'm not used to that. In Atlanta, people used to ask me, is it like a culture shock to you here? No, not at all. I think the one thing though is like understanding those different perspectives allows me to have these like real conversations with them, and ponder and ask questions. And it's interesting too, because I can use that skill set in sports. When I talk to a player, when I talk to a coach, it's not always about tell me how the game is. That I like to do those sit down human interest type of stories. Like, how can the fan connect with you on a personal level? The things that we don't know outside of social media or we don't see. What are the ways you get prepared for a game? How are you getting ready? We'll use FAMU for this matchup on the road, keeping your guys on the road for a good minute, keeping them mentally, sustained. So I think I take those skill sets of talking to so many different people here in Arkansas, and I can use it as well when I'm put in those positions with sports as well. If that answered your question.
No, it definitely did. Definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask about back to sports for a second. Obviously, one of the big stories this week, right there in your backyard, UAPB's women, SWAC, getting an upset. I'm gonna call it an upset over Memphis on Monday. That's a big win. I know our girl Liv is gonna come on and talk about it later on in the show. But what's the perspective or what's the vibe locally for that win that UAPB got over Memphis?
Yeah, that was a big win. I was reading that it was their second win against Memphis, but it was a statement win, especially with them bringing in head coach Erica Leak. I met her during homecoming when she first came on. This was last year, and she just brings an exciting attitude. And I was there during homecoming last year as well, and everybody was super excited about the season. Last year, they ended the last standing in the SWAC, but this year with that win against Memphis, that really set the tone for a team that struggled, I want to say last year throughout. They had girls like India Bowen, Jayla Pelly, Imani Jefferson, Jayla, scored 23 points, 10 rebounds. India scored 29 points and 9 rebounds. It was just taking a look at their stats. And this is UAPB's second win over Memphis since 2007, which is crazy, so just looking at that and just kind of hearing some of the perspective from those in Pine Bluff, it's exciting. They want to win. Just like all of us do. But with that win for sure against Memphis, they're actually playing University of Arkansas coming up, we'll say the 5th. I think that game is on the 7th. So that's going to be something because they're going to travel up to Fayetteville. Like I was telling y'all, this is Razorback country. But Pine Bluff, the ladies are looking to put on a show for sure. I would think just based off of how they performed in Memphis and they came back in that fourth quarter, that was a statement for them. And a lot of people are excited.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Yes, I had a question for you. I guess it's career oriented, but being in Little Rock, have you had a chance to take in some of the history?
Yes.
I guess specifically around the Little Rock 9 and a lot of things that happened way before any of us were born. But how have you had a chance to venture out and learn some of the history, some of the Black history in Little Rock and the state of Arkansas?
Yeah, if y'all ever, I don't know why y'all would come to Arkansas outside of sports, but whenever you do come to Arkansas, you need to go to the Central High Museum. So I did a story with them for Black History, and one thing that I have to say is people that go to Central High, they will not let you forget that the Little Rock 9 happened there. NAACP, they do things here too. They did it was the anniversary of the March on Washington. And so there's a bridge. So to give y'all backstory, there's Little Rock and then there's North Little Rock. It was very hard for me to understand that. But there's a long bridge. And so on this anniversary, they actually shut it down, and it was a huge crowd of people, and they walked the entire bridge. And it was just such a powerful message because, of course, being from Atlanta, we know Black history and Black excellence is everything, but it's the same feeling here, especially when you talk to people about the Little Rock Nine and the way that they paved the way for integration here in Arkansas and really set those stones down to, I think there was a story that my dad brought it up and then we talked about it at work one time, and it's a town in Arkansas, and I believe that it was either burned down or something like that. I believe it was burned down, but it was like in the rural part of Arkansas. And so when you have those type of conversations, you start to learn how important Black history here in Arkansas really is. And they have a very, very strong community. I've talked to NAACP leaders. They have an MLK commission, which I didn't even know. The King Commission, they do a lot in the community. They're actually giving away turkeys ahead of Thanksgiving because of the shutdown, and because of that's what they do annually. There are a lot of Black businesses. Pine Bluff is thriving in Black business and that Black history as well, not only just with UAPB, but the history of the town. So, and I'm still learning those things. Like I said, I've only been here for a year and a half, but I have taken a tour of Central High. And I've also sat in on those like legislative sessions during Black History Month, talking to our legislators here. And, you know, it's exciting. I get to learn new things and, you know, get their own perspectives and understand like the historical element of Arkansas. So it's pretty cool. So when y'all come, let me know and I'll give y'all the hookup.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you know how us rattlers are. We love a hookup.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, Little Rock is thriving in not just Black history, but they have a lot from like the cultural standpoint. There are different, I'm literally still learning the areas, but like I stay in the area that's close to the river. So, you know, there's a lot of nature. I learned that this is the natural state too. So whenever you go to Arkansas, one of the big things is like going to hot springs and seeing the natural springs. You can actually drink from, they have fountains that are connected to the springs. You can like bring your water bottles, you can fill them up. You can go to Fayetteville. Of course, that's Razorback country. And the whole thing they're talking about is what we going to do about Petrino and the Razorback. So, so yeah, like other than that, I mean, you know, it's a beautiful state. I love it. I love it here, but you know, Atlanta is my home.
There it is. Kelvin, go ahead and close it off with Maya there. Go ahead and get the last one in there.
Well, I don't really have a question. Well, what would you like to do next? All right. So you're doing news. You're in Little Rock. Is there someone you would like to work with? Do you prefer covering, say, in sports? Do you have a NFL, college, high school? Or do you like them all? Just kind of tell us where you at.
Yeah, well, my dream has always been to cover the Falcons. I mean, it's a no-brainer growing up and going through the struggle.
That's what I'm talking about.
Even right now.
Hey, me and Marcus, lifelong Falcons, so we with you.
Lifelong struggle artists. That's what y'all are. Lifelong struggle artists.
Yes.
You know, and y'all already know, people are like, well, why are y'all still Falcons fans? It's like, don't ask me that. It's just because we are.
Right.
It's just because we are. And like I would love to cover the Falcons and honestly tell the stories of like the city, our team, you know, overall, not just from a play-by-play standpoint, but like how the Falcons, like that is us, that is Atlanta. Everybody can relate to that struggle for real. And I'm a tennis player. And so my other dream is to cover tennis. In a perfect world, I would love to cover football and tennis, which I found there are some reporters out there that do that. But tennis for me is because that was the sport that started it all, right? My dad got me into it, and I've stuck with it ever since. And I'll never forget, there was a match between Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka, and the reporters in there, they didn't look like me, at least from my perspective. And then they just kind of painted the picture of two women of color playing against each other, from a negative perspective, instead of it being like this is the teacher playing the student playing the teacher. And ever since then, I've just wanted to stick with it. I wanted to help change those narratives, shine a light on diversity in the sport, talk about women in the sport, that's just like my love and passion. So that would be like in a perfect world. But also, I'm just going with the motions wherever God puts me. I'm happy and I'm glad about that and blessed. So yeah, that would be in a perfect world.
Since you're with a CBS affiliate, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you're at the CBS affiliate. Have you had an opportunity to go cover the US Open?
No. Oh my gosh. So I've been to the US Open, not this year when FAMU was doing the tribute. This was a couple of years ago. I went with the original Beta Alpha chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And we ended up going down and it was really, really fun. And that was like, I had to be in work mode, but I also was like trying to be like, okay, let me just snap a picture here. Let me just make sure, get it in because I'm going to be back. But I want to go. I want to go back to the US Open and actually cover it as a reporter. So I've made some connections in the tennis world. So, look out for me whenever in a couple years, possibly, but would love to go.
All right. Thank you.
Well, I have no doubt you will be there, Maya. I mean, we just hopefully you'll still remember us as you ascend to bigger and better heights, and you just remember us little folks down here on YouTube and on the podcast networks and stuff like that. So.
Y'all are my dogs. Thank y'all so much. I always love coming on and talking with y'all, and it's always a good and fun time watching y'all and, staying in touch. So I enjoy it every single time. And thank y'all for inviting me. This is super fun.
Definitely. Well, I think this is the second time I think FAMU has gone to Pine Bluff in the history of just, not just SWAC, but in college football, in our history of college football. So I'll be interested to see what the crowd is like, what the atmosphere is like, and so I will make sure to connect with you prior to getting there. And then hopefully we'll catch up either Friday or Saturday and see you in Pine Bluff as the Rattlers coming to Arkansas. Yeah, as some of us down south folks say.
Arkansas. I always tell myself, don't say Arkansas on air or they're gonna get me.
I know. Yes, don't say that. Don't do it. All right, Maya, let people know. Obviously, you see the Twitter there, but let people know where they can find you and watch your broadcast and all the other good stuff. Get a plugs.
Yeah, of course. My Instagram is below right there at the Maya Ellison, and all of my handles are the same on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And I've been posting some things about the Falcons, just, about Little Rock, about news here in Arkansas. So stay in touch. And if y'all have any story ideas or anything, I'm easy to talk to. Definitely reach out. And thank y'all so much. And I'm excited to be at the game. I'm trying to get some stuff together where I'll do some updates on my page, possibly doing some things like that, some sideline. So got to do some work for the next couple of days to make sure, I'm game ready and staying up to date on what our Rattlers are doing because we got to produce something.
That's right.
Exactly.
I'm putting it on you and on Bryan to bring back that W. That's Tallahassee.
Wow.
All right now. Don't quote Kelvin on that, y'all. For real.
No, please don't. Right. Please don't. All right, Maya, thank you. Have a good night. We'll see you this weekend. Make sure you guys are following at the Maya Ellison on all social media. Appreciate you, Maya. Be well.
Thank y'all. Bye.
All right, good stuff. We're going to take a real short break, and then on the other side, we're going to talk hoops with our girl, Liv. LivForHoops coming up in a quick moment. So hang tight. Get your basketball questions ready as Liv is ready, and she's fired up and ready to go. She's seen a lot of good hoops over the first 48, 72 hours now. Yeah. So we'll hear from Liv on the other side. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically Black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU image. A Kenny T's company.
See, I said it was going to be a short break, and my man done ran off somewhere. He probably taking a bathroom break somewhere. Anyway, Bryan, Marcus, and I'm sure it'll be Kelvin here in a minute. Look who's joining us. It's our girl, LivForHoops, joining us tonight. Liv, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey, we're great.
Okay.
We're great. You know, I don't know my man Kelvin. I think should I leave the chair in there, Marcus, or should I take it out and leave it out? You know, I really thought he'd be back. Maybe he underestimated how short a break I was going.
That was a quick break.
It was a quick break. There he is. See, you thought I was. Hey, hold on, wait there. You thought I was joking when I said it was a short break. I was going a real short break there.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Duty calls.
Liv. All right, so Liv, first off, I gotta say, I appreciate you on the Sunday show coming on, talking to us a little bit. Again, want to tell everybody, go check out the clip. We talked for a good 30-40 minutes with Liv on Sunday night. Great HBCU season preview, just in general. But you know, in this episode tonight, we got more FAMU related stuff to talk about. But let me start with the softball stuff, Liv. First 2-3 days of hoops. What has impressed you the most so far?
That women's basketball is still like the superior over the men. Wow. Obviously one male team is looking like phenomenal, but across the board, like I've seen we've 2 upsets in 2 days. Upsets, I hate that word because I feel like against the teams they played against, those are teams they should have beat. Because if anyone recalls, last season, Valley only lost to Memphis on the road by like 3 or 4 points, or maybe they beat them. I don't recall. It was a close game nonetheless. But the women's teams are just coming, and they're coming in full force like they did last season and the season before. And I'm waiting for the men, besides Bethune, to get on par. Like, what are we doing? Let's be competitive. And that's always my thing. I said before, I'm tired of the blowouts, but I'm really happy to see the teams who have been competitive. And even if it's through 30 out of 40 minutes or 20 out of 40, getting blown out right away is just so disappointing to me. Like, that's just something I can't tolerate. But nonetheless, shout out to UAPB and Howard for both their opening wins for the season over a Big East opponent. And then Memphis, where are they in? The American, whatever conference they're in.
Yeah, American.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to them, women's teams.
All right. So, all right, let's just get right into it here. We'll start with our FAMU women's team. Tough season opener, against Florida State. How do we, I know we it's hard to evaluate these games like this, but what are some of the takeaways? What are some of the challenges that this team is going to have early on? And what's the realistic expectation going into the conference as you've seen so many of the other teams in conference play?
Yeah. So I think number one, for lack of better terms, concerns with the women's team started with their exhibition versus Valdosta State. And I'd be really silly to not bring that up, losing by the amount they did to Valdosta State on your home floor. And to be honest, at the end, it got way closer than how large the lead was. When I was like sent the score, I was like, what? Like, that shouldn't be happening that close. Like, this was the week before they played, like right away. So that brought immediate concern to me, obviously, people can say it's a team full of new people. They're trying to find their groove. And then like following that up with a game versus Florida State doesn't help. But I think when you just you can't make shots, you're not going to ever stay in games. And once you dig yourself in a hole, like it's really hard unless you have like legit 3-point shooters. Like this is not the NBA where a 30-point lead can be blown like in 2 minutes. Like that doesn't happen. If you dig yourself in a hole, especially against these larger schools, you're not ever getting back in the game. So when they're scoring single digits in the first half, like 9 and 5 points, you have to find other ways to generate points, whether that's attacking and getting to the free throw line. But it's just they couldn't get points and they just kept turning the ball over. And of course, Florida State was applying that pressure. And I think with the uptick of HBCUs being competitive against these larger schools, I personally feel like coaches are in the locker room like, this is a game we cannot lose. Like, it's more of an emphasis because you guys see on Twitter, once a school loses to an HBCU, it's like, oh, their coach is getting fired. This is horrible. But I mean, they just couldn't. And for the freshmen, the true freshman to lead in scoring is just, it says a lot when she recruited a lot of veteran players to be on the team. So I guess we move on to the next and see how they bounce back from that game and how they respond to the adversity that they faced. And yes, Florida State was applying pressure, but that's basketball. And I'm really, maybe I'm in a different headspace because over these 3 days now, because there's games today, I've seen teams compete like through the third quarter, up until at least halftime, keeping it competitive and close, or even Southern's playing Marquette right now. Until the 10-minute mark, it was a single digit game. So it's just, and that was men, to be clear, it was men. I believe like pressure is a part of basketball. And if you can't break a press or your guards can't get past pressure, you're in for a very rude awakening come SWAC time, which SWAC is an extremely, extremely physical conference. So I guess we'll just see how they respond in their next game and how they continue to grow and work through these mistakes.
Speaking of that next game, Howard University on Saturday. Howard gets a win over Providence. What did you see from Providence? And this was a relative, I don't know, it was a close game last year, was it not? I mean, sort of, kind of, last year.
I think it was like back and forth for a little bit, and then Howard kind of like controlled like the fourth quarter, and then FAMU started pressing at the end, and they kind of worked their way back in last season. This year, Howard's a way different team. Watching how they looked versus Providence, they led by as many as 18. They have real depth. Like, I thought they were good last year, but the depth they have this year is like 5 times larger than what they had. You cannot double their post because they have legit 3-point threats. Like, they'll have 3-point shooters who can also take defenders off the bounce. They got in their bag when they went and recruited. Like, it's the depth and even the players they bring off the bench, because sometimes you'll see teams when they bring their bench in, it's a huge drop off from the starting 5. And that's not the case with Howard. Like, they bring in players who legit could be starting for them. So I think it's going to be an interesting game to see. I think, FAMU has maybe in the post position a little more height. How they utilize that, I guess we'll see. But it will be a real challenge, especially at the Burr where, they do get good attendance usually, even for the women, and it's a good playing environment. So it will be a challenge.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
I wonder if anything has surprised you so far you know, you projected, who's going to be the better women teams, who's going to be the better men team. Has anybody or anything surprised you thus far?
I think that I knew that they would be good. I think Alabama A&M, I didn't, because with so many transfers, it's honestly, that's why I'm like, you guys, preseason polls literally mean nothing, especially in the SWAC. But Alabama A&M, I really, really like their men's team. I think they went in, they have Passis, his last name's French, alongside Dozier and a player from Gary, Indiana. Their guard play is really, really good. And Coach Jackson, the plus was he brought players with him who knew his system, and all he had to do was plug and play certain pieces that he was missing from last year's team. So through their exhibition games, they've looked really, really good. Quite a few of the women's teams still haven't played, like Texas Southern's first game's tomorrow. Who else? Valley still hasn't played an official game. They played an exhibition game. So, and I will say UAPB, I was watching that game and I was getting happy. Like I was like, oh my gosh. But she went and like India was a great pickup for them. And when they posted a clip of how she was speaking to them before the game, and she was just like, I believe in you guys. Like, you need to believe in you. And this is our game. And so I could tell that like she was feeding that energy. And so for them to get that win after only winning 3 games last year, like what a way to open up the season. So I think that shocked. I mean, as the game progressed, I was like, oh, they're about to win this game. But I don't think, on paper, anyone was like, oh, UAPB's, they're going to beat Memphis. So that was pleasant. I will say, and it's hard with opening games. And I feel like people take what I say for like serious and then they run with it. But I'm like, it's just game one.
You got that kind of weight now, Liv. That's who you are now. That's who you are now.
Bethune women were like very disappointing to me, especially considering, and the reason I say that is because Edward Waters only lost to UCF by 11 points. And it was an official exhibition game. And Bethune got blown out. And like watching the game, I was just like, some teams just don't look, and I'm not saying the coaches didn't prepare them. It's like the players are just like somewhere else playing these games. And then obviously Bethune men. I mean, I was like, on paper, they are by far the best team. And surprisingly, Dr. Bradley didn't even play in the Auburn game. Who was SWAC preseason defensive player of the year, the transfer from UAPB. He did not play. He wasn't dressed. So we'll see if he plays tomorrow at Miami, but that was such an exciting game. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I was like in my house, like these refs, because the refs really started.
Yes.
They knew what they were doing.
They interjected. Yes.
But I don't remember if it was with you, Bryan, on Sunday. I think it was, but I was like, all the pressure's on Bethune to produce. They're getting all this national attention. People who have never paid attention to HBCU basketball are paying attention to them. They're getting preseason mid-major votes. This team has never played a game together. Like this was before they played Auburn. I'm like, well, now there's no way they don't crack the top 25 going into overtime with the number 20 team. And it was like a legit good game. It wasn't like, I saw people on like, oh, Auburn was doing this and that. No, like they really were playing their best basketball and Bethune was matching it. So I think that's exciting. Like I want to see us, and that's why I just can't accept people being like, oh, these are, Power 4 teams. These are a group of 5. Like personally, I don't give an F. I'll keep it all the way G, because other coaches are showing like they'll go out and recruit, how creative they're getting with how they can get the players or pay the players, like whatever. But to get a P4 talent in Arterio Morris to transfer to Bethune, like, and it's paying off. So I don't know. That was an exciting game. And I feel like the whole HBCU world was just like, oh my gosh, please win this game.
So does Bethune have before I throw it to you, Marcus, Bethune have a legit shot tomorrow against Miami?
Yes. I think they have a legit chance against every single team. I was looking through their non-conference. I know every single team as they were one. That's not the team that Auburn thought they were getting when they signed that deal to play them.
No, it probably wasn't.
And now every single team is panicking like, oh my gosh, this was supposed to be a guaranteed win playing Bethune. And now we actually have to seriously prep for them, like, and actually come to play. So it's their depth that is what is most exciting. They run through Ruzan a lot, which is their post player who is from last year. And you cannot double him because he's surrounded by scores. He works in the high post. They get him the ball. He either turns and face or works it over his shoulder. And then the guards make their reads off of that. But when you have Arterio Morris, you have Quentin Heddy, who literally averaged 4 points a game at Central Michigan. Jacoby Heddy was the one who was like, oh my gosh, he was an all SWAC 2 years ago. And he comes out and scores 21 on the number 20 team in the nation. Like, they just have so much depth. And then Willoughby was in double figures. Morris came off the bench. Like, he did not start for them, scoring 20 points off the bench. So it's really their depth. And I think that's what works for them. They have legit post players who can score and can defend. Their defense was phenomenal. Like, it was a high scoring game, but they were getting stops when they had to. So yeah, I definitely think they have a chance to beat. Was Miami even good last year?
No, they were bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hope Bethune beats every single team in out of conference play, and I hope every other team follows suit and starts winning these games, because take their money and take the W. That's how I feel.
That's a t-shirt right there. Take the money and take the W. Live for hoops. There you go. Marcus, go ahead.
Well, hey, Liv. I'm glad you jumped in. Glad I could catch up with you. I guess the two questions I had from, I guess, the SWAC schedule, men's and women's, do you see any other potentials for upset? Good. Go ahead.
I'll answer that one first. Honestly, I just don't ever know, because I think, like, even tonight, Delaware State played Temple to single digits till 10 minutes left in the game. And that, I was like, whoa, because I thought Delaware State wasn't going to be as competitive as last year. Looking at from the games, I don't remember all of them, but like, even with UMES going into overtime against Georgia Tech, I think we just have to catch people at the right time and be hitting on all cylinders. And then for the women, I'm like looking at the schedule. No one plays anyone like tomorrow. I'm looking at what I have on my phone. Sorry. What day is that? I could see, well, I won't write off UAPB now, and Arkansas just lost. I think they just lost. So that could either be good or bad, because then they could be coming in looking for like vengeance against UAPB. But even then, like, I know people saw the Grambling score, but that game, it was a tale of two halves. So like, if they start better, they could beat UNT, which UNT was like one of the best mid-major programs last year. I could see Jackson State. I don't even see these as upsets. I think they beat Tennessee Tech last year. They're going to beat them again. Coach Richards' Jackson State team is so much better this year than last year. And Tennessee State plays Wright State on Thursday. I can see them winning that game. They almost took down Middle Tennessee, who is literally
really
that
good.
Game was so good. They're the number 4 mid-major ranked team, and every single year, Middle Tennessee advances in the NCAA tournament. They had them on the ropes. I was like, so now they're feeling confident. Coach Dupree went out and she recruited exactly what they needed. So I could see that. I just, looking at the games, I never know. And I feel like every time I'm like, oh, they're gonna win this game. They ended up losing. And then it's like the team that I was like, I don't know. They end up winning the game. So I'm just always hopeful and cheering for everyone that they can. But I most importantly want people to just like be competitive, like make these teams sweat. When you come out and you're down like by 20 in the first quarter, first 10 minutes, I hate that. Like, wake up and have some pride. Like, what was the second question, Marcus?
The second question was, I know Coach Ward is in his first year, so I want to apply that to the men's team. But for the women's team, this is Coach Gordon's third season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a whole nother team again, at least the majority of the team, there's turnover. What do the prospects look like in terms of having to 3 consecutive years of not having or very little content? I think there are 3 players that came back when we had her on a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But, that doesn't really, in my mind, that's some returning players, but that's not continuity.
Mm-hmm.
What is the projection or realistic projection this year with a whole turnover of the team, more or less?
Again, the Valdosta State game concerned me because I thought they would have looked way better by then at that time. And I feel like in the HBCU world, there are very few teams who keep bulks of their roster. Like literally, it's probably like Howard does a good job doing it. I saw Coach Thornton do a good job of keeping a bulk, but for the majority, any mid-major team is losing like 6 to 10 players now every single cycle because of the portal and people chasing money or better opportunities or whatever the case may be. I will say I have to see kind of how they progress, because if I'm seeing teams, and again, last year, for example, because I was like, as he was talking, I was like looking different things up. Like Alabama State last year, the men who won the whole thing last year, they were competitive in out of conference play. Did they win every game? No, but I vividly remember they went to like 4 minutes with LSU at LSU and then they blew it open. Like, so I think it's hard when you're constantly having turnover and more turnover to find that early gel. So that's why we see some teams not being able to be competitive early, because they don't have, how do I say this? It's hard for certain teams to find that gel and like how they work with each other when you're getting blown out every single game. So you really don't know, this is your role. This is your role, because how one team guards you in out of conference play isn't going to necessarily translate to what the conference is going to look like. So come conference time, that's when they're now establishing roles, because every game, well, we'll just use the first game, for example, fighting for your life, losing by 73. Like, what? That's, you're fighting for your life. At that point, you're just finding any ways to put points on the board. You're not, she played her entire roster. That's not going to happen in conference play. At most, you'll see coaches go 8 deep. At most, unless there's foul trouble or anything. But I'll be interested to see how they look come conference time. I think other teams were able to, whether or not players were asked to leave or players chose to leave, because no one ever says either way, they were able to keep, key pieces. Like, because Purifoy didn't play last year. She got injured the first game. And then, so like, is she a part of the system? Yes, but she played 1 game. Like, so she can't really be a leader in the aspect of teaching the system when she wasn't, living that experience. I had them on paper. I think I had them like preseason 7th or 8th. But I guess that's subject to change when I'm seeing other teams, compete. But again, conference play, some people come in and start playing way better in conference play than they do in out of conference. But I think it's hard if you're constantly getting blown out, that now come January 3rd, when you're down in Daytona, that's when you're having to figure it out. And that's what we saw last year. If you guys remember, they went down there and it was just like it was a competitive game, but then Bethune won. And then last season we were seeing like end of games were the reason they were losing. And that comes down to, one, basketball IQ, but that's across the board. So many of these basketball players have zero basketball IQ. It's ridiculous. Having that chemistry and continuity to know, like, to read your teammates and read situations. So hopefully they can turn it around, especially considering this, is Coach Gordon's third season at the helm, and she's very excited about being able to have all 15 of her own recruits. So, hopefully, that's all we'll
keep hope alive, Liv. Keep hope alive.
So Liv,
thank you so much.
Are you going to be at the game
on Saturday? I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will be at the game.
So that's two people on this screen who will be at the game on Saturday. Woo.
And I'll be at the men's game the next day, which is actually going to be a good one to watch, which is Howard versus Grambling. So something to note if you just want to watch good basketball, that should be a good game. But yeah, I'll be at the game, evaluating in person, and hopefully it's not. I saw someone say even if they lose, getting beat by 40 points. We would hope not.
We hope not.
Marcus, hold on. I got one more question for Liv, a fun one. So Liv, you was a prolific scorer.
Oh my goodness.
Do you still get in the gym at all? Do you play pickup games? Do you still got it?
I don't play pickup, but every time I do touch a ball, the first shot always goes in because a real scorer and shooter never loses their touch. I promise you that.
I love it.
That's like that video. Hey, hold on. That's like that video of Jordan talking about when the first. I haven't shot and picked up a ball in 20 years, and he go out there to the free throw line telling these kids, blah blah blah. I ain't touched the ball in 20 years. First shot, nothing but net.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I promise you, real shooters don't lose their touch. If I could just not play defense and go out on a court and play offense, I'm for sure hitting double digits. I know that. Like.
Well, I'm calling it now, Marcus. I expect a post-game report from you and Liv, some type of video post-game report. So figure out how to make it happen. That way we can post a post-game video report from you and Liv at the game. Let me ask this question, Liv, regarding the men's basketball team, and it's something that you brought up when you were just talking about teams coming out ready to play in the first 10 minutes. We were kind of talking about this back in the first segment. The one thing I have noticed from Coach Ward's team against Florida State in the exhibition game, and then last Monday night against USF, the first 10 minutes, we have looked pretty good. And we have been without our point guard. Now that, word is starting to circle out that we may have him back this upcoming weekend, or at least relatively soon. What's your thoughts on what this team can do? Could FAMU men's team be one of those teams that is, I'm just looking at the schedule here in terms of big name power programs. We got, I don't know if UCF is quite in that category, but they're in the Big 12. Then we've got Georgia in the SEC. Then later on in the year, hell, I don't know, TCU just lost to New Orleans. So I feel like that's a possible upset, They just lost to New Orleans the other day. And then we got Georgia Tech. So, but then we got some mid-majors. I mean, does that bode well for this team, the fact that they have started out well in the first 10 minutes of these two games?
I think that's a good sign when you can start hot, especially against, competition that's full of, people who are ranked 4 and 5 stars. To me, when that dies off, that means fatigue. When you can't keep that type of intensity and scoring going the rest of the game and the other people can't, it's like fatigue. There was one game I was watching, I was like, this just shows me like, the preparation is just not the same to last all 40 minutes, whether you don't have the depth to do so or you don't already trust your depth to do so. But the hot start means you're in it, right? If you can start in it, that means you're not digging yourself out of a hole. So if they can find a way to put spurts together, and I think they play Kennesaw next.
Yes.
Yeah, needs to be a game that they're either competitive in or they win. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Especially if they want to. I'm sorry, no one wants to enter conference play with 0 wins. Like that's not a good morality booster. It's not good for, in my honest opinion, it's not good for like team chemistry either when you're constantly losing. So if they can put a whole game together, and I think going from South Florida to Kennesaw gives them a good opportunity to take what they did, that wasn't the best. So like the turnovers, anyone who has 20 turnovers plus, you're never winning a game. So setting a goal of like, keeping it, around, I give people around like 12 because basketball is so fast now that like it's just hard for teams not to turn the ball over. And rebounds, they do have a really good post player at Kennesaw. So his name's Perry Smith. He's from North Carolina Central. So we'll see. He's a transfer. We'll see what they look like. But it's a good opportunity to go from South Florida, take what they could have done better, and then put that right into action on your home floor against Kennesaw. Like you have a home game, a home opportunity to really work some more kinks out. I know a lot of people are high on Micah Octave, the transfer from Alabama State. A lot of people have been hitting me up about Tyler Shirley and the positives he brings to the floor. So as long as these players continue to find their role, because the truth of the matter is everyone is not that person. And I know people like to think that, but everyone's not the number one option. There's only one number one option. So what can you excel at that is going to guarantee this team is going to win? Is it going to be the rebounding, being the best teammate on the court? And so I think with Charlie Ward, this being his first year, he has a way to really implement his culture, his system, and, continue to move FAMU's basketball in the way that everyone wants to see it move, which is into winning ways. Like, I just feel like that's just the expectation is people want FAMU men's basketball to win.
There's only one Beyonce. Somebody got to be Destiny's Child.
100.
There's only one in Diana. Somebody got to be the Supremes.
And I will say that always comes from the coach. If you have a good coach who establishes roles early on, like my JUCO coach was the most straightforward coach ever. He would be like, this is exactly why you're on the floor. Exactly why. And like when someone would do something that was outside of their role, he'd be like, why are you doing that? But he held everyone, up to that of knowing exactly what their role was. And so you'll see that this isn't, I feel like with FAMU men's basketball, from what I've seen, so things can obviously change as it progresses. They have they're going to be a more balanced team. They don't have like that. They don't have like, in my opinion, like a Dozier Contavious Dozier is going to go out there for Alabama A&M and be like a constant threat and concern for 20 plus points every single night. I truly see them as having, Octave, Bolden, Shirley, like having that multiple players in the 12 to 15 range. So if they can just rely on that of playing team basketball and who has the best shot, who has the hot hand, I think that, they can really be competitive.
Yeah.
I would love for you, and it'd have to be now, maybe on another time that we talk or offline or whatever. You mentioned that 20 turnover number as one of those keys to almost, I had to coin it, I had to phrase it as keys to lose a game, over 20 turnovers. I would love to hear from you, like, what are the numbers that are like recipe for disaster? Like if you were going to put like, hey, you need to be able to shoot like this from the arc. You need to do this or not do this in the turnover category. The free throws need to look like this. You know what I'm saying? That kind of, and I know you can't always put it in a bubble like that because it's basketball and you can sometimes overcome a 20 turnover game. Maybe if you were shooting 60% from the arc, you know what I'm saying? But if there was a, hey, don't do this in order to success. I'd love to hear that from you. I don't know if you got it now, but I
I
mean
can
later.
give you a few right now.
Oh, give it. Fire away. We'll close it off with that. Fire it off.
Turnovers is such a key because when you're giving teams easy opportunities to score the ball, that's number one. The only way 20 turnovers can still equal a win is if you're turning that other team over just as much. So realistically, if you have a team that can really control the ball, I would say 10 and below. I really think that's doable if you have a point guard with basketball IQ, and you are very stern on unforced turnovers. Unforced, where like you're just throwing the ball out of bounds, all of that. 10 and below is really a recipe for success. From the free throw, we've all witnessed games where free throws are the reason teams have lost the game. Like, oh, if they just would have made their free throws, they would have won. Your team as a whole, right, should be between 75 to 80% from the free throw line. If it was my team, I would say 90%, but I'm just strict like that. But realistically, 75 to 80% from the free throw line is a recipe for success. And you have to get to the free throw line double digits every single game. You should be attacking the glass in order to get those free opportunities to score. From the field, that gets kind of tricky because, when threes aren't falling, you can find different ways to score. And every team is not a 3-point shooting team, or that's not like a staple in their system. But you should be, I was always told a good 3-point shooter shoots 30%. A great 3-point shooter shoots 35%, and an exceptional is around the 40. So if you want your team to be a good 3-point shooting team, they need to be between that 30 and 35%. And I would say rebounding, winning the rebounding battle. People don't realize how big, people who know basketball do, but you need to win the rebounding battle. Typically, you'll see if you lose it by 10 or more, you're really not winning the game, especially if they're getting multiple chances on offense. So I would say the goal is, obviously, if you have post players, I'm telling them every single night, set your goals, write them in your locker, and reach that every single game. Why are you 6'9" not getting 10 rebounds every single game? Why are you that's just something I don't understand, because rebounding is a will, it's not a skill. My year at FAMU, our point guard literally led the team in rebounding because she wanted the ball that bad. You have to want it that bad. So I think those are just a few things off the top of my head that are important. The turnovers are the most important thing, though, because just stop turning the ball over. 20 no. It's just, that's the worst, because most time it's always at half court, and then they just go down and get a little easy layup. So keeping it 10 and below, I think that's an obtainable goal. It should.
Hey, Liv, I know you do such a wonderful job in covering HBCU basketball. I mean, just the best by far. It ain't even close.
You.
However, I have to ask a question. I know you've also coached. Is there any interest in coaching at the collegiate level?
I've been asked. That's so funny that you asked that. I've been asked. I think it would have to be the right situation with the right people. And it would have to just move me. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, because I actually do think I have a really good basketball IQ, and I read film very well. I think that's a strength of mine. Yeah. So I think I would be an asset. It would just have to be the right situation of, where's the school located? I'm obviously not going, and I feel like I'm picking on them, and I feel so bad, but I'm obviously not going to Ida Bina. I'm in the middle of nowhere. No. But, I think I'm open to discussions. A few coaches have, asked me if that's an interest of mine. And so we'll see what the future holds. But right now I'm very happy with, highlighting the programs, doing what I can. Again, it's only me. People forget that. And trying to expand. I want to do some, hopefully, some film breakdown this year so people can really learn the game, because
That would be
so
great.
many people have told me, they're like, I don't understand, like, you know, this and that. And if you can be a teacher, like, then people can, you know, return that to somebody else. So maybe we'll see. Maybe next year. Who knows? Someone said SC State. No, thank you.
Oh wow. Look
No,
at
and
that,
that's
man.
like, that's no like shade, but going to a struggling program is just not something that would like intrigue.
Doesn't excite you. Doesn't excite
Yeah,
you.
like SC State, if they could, again, I looked it up. They haven't had a like winning program in like over a decade, like just reaching like 500. I think the last time it might have been 9 years ago in the 17-18 season. But struggling programs, I think, I know me, and I would just get so frustrated because I have no patience for college kids, because I'm like, you're in college. And I was just teaching 6th graders how to do this. What are you doing? Like, it's just, to me, I'm like, things are common sense once you get to college, especially now. If you're getting paid, no, you should be, you know, it's a lot more. But maybe next year, we'll see. I don't know. Are you reading my mind?
Women or men? Women or men? Which game? I know you love the women's game more.
Always women. I would never want to coach men. No interest in that.
Okay, gotcha. just had to ask. Just had to ask.
No, unless it was like an NBA team that was like, hey, we want you to be like one of our scout analysts. That'd be different. But college men, no. High school men, no. No.
All right, guys. So you can throw that question
FAMU
away.
High. I don't live in Tallahassee.
See,
I'm just sorry. I read the comment. No, I don't live in Tallahassee.
All right. Live for Hoops, everybody. At Live for Hoops. Make sure you're following the best basketball follow, best follow period on IG and on Twitter. That's where it's at. And so if you're in DC, if you're at the Howard game, the women are so what is it? Women on Saturday. and the men on Monday.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday. All right, you guys make sure to check Liv out. Holler at her. She'll be representing, Live for Hoops, wearing some orange and green, maybe.
Liv gonna be on at scores table somewhere. She VIP.
I know. Marcus, do I need to put in media credentials for you, or are you trying to sit in the crowd? Where you want to be, Marcus?
I have no idea. I'm gonna have to wave from up in the nosebleed
No,
seats.
I gotta get my guys some media credentials, Marcus. We
is
can talk
open.
offline. I bet it is. All right, I gotta work on that because I can't have you sitting up in the rafters while Liv get all the juice on the court. Okay. Everybody, make sure you hit Liv up. If you're not following, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Make sure to follow Liv. Live for Hoops or Die Lonely, as I like to say. And Liv will be in DC. Ben's Chili Bowl. Make sure to hit it up. It's really good. Just telling you.
Are you sending me off? Because if it's nasty, I'm literally telling everyone you sent me to get some nasty.
President
food.
Obama's gone to Ben's Chili Bowl. So I mean, he it's not me. He validates it. It is not me. Trust me.
Okay.
If you don't like chili now, don't go. But I mean, everybody says it's the bomb. So I'm just saying. All right, Liv, safe travels to DC, and we look forward to seeing you and Marcus doing your post game report. And let's go. Let's get a dub up in DC. The Rattlers,
right.
Liv's coming to town. Let's get a dub, Lady Rattlers. You got to get one because Liv will talk about it. He should talk about you. She will talk about you if y'all don't come correct. Y'all got to make up for this. I know that for sure. Good night, Liv. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Good stuff. Let's take a short break. Come back, volleyball, football, and then wrap it up and close the show. And we'll do it quickly. Promise. Right here on the other side. You're watching the ONG Strike Zone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in a moment.
football fans, the Cricket Celebration Bowl is celebrating 10 years of crowning an HBCU national champion. A champion will rise at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on December 13th as the MEAC and SWAC champions clash in Atlanta. Join us for championship football, interactive fan experiences, and iconic marching bands. It's an HBCU family reunion that you don't want to miss. See who will be crowned the next HBCU national champion. For event and ticket information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a state, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
With over 25 years of serving our communities, Destiny Financial Services, a division of Global Life, is here to help you and your family through difficult times. From cancer care to accidental industries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life, but you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call DFS at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at www.globelifeinsurance.com. That is 877-300-8269, or again, the website at www.globelifeinsurance.com.
All right. Welcome back to the ONG Strike Zone. Bryan, Kelvin, and Marcus. Appreciate everybody for checking in and tuning in. Make sure to hit up all of our guests. Dennis Driscoll, Maya Ellison, LivForHoops. Let's make sure to show our guests some love. EA asked where I'm flying out. I'm flying out with the team. EA, but I got to get to Tallahassee first. That's the hard part, or a challenging part, I should say. Got to get to Tallahassee. But yeah, I'm flying out with the team Friday morning from Tallahassee. Okay. Very quickly this week in FAMU athletics, busy week. Tomorrow, women's tennis is in the ITA Masters. Kelvin, is that a all tournament, all players, or is that like just singles? Or like
I have no idea, Bryan.
All right. Thought we were on this. Thought we were on top of this. All right. So women's tennis again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Not sure where, but it's the ITA Masters. On Friday, November 7th, the bowling team is in Fort Worth, Texas. Friday, November 7th versus Louisiana Tech. So I think this is a weekend tournament. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday participating in a weekend tournament at Louisiana Tech in Fort Worth, Texas. Of course, on Friday, November 7th, this is a good weekend, home weekend. Volleyball hosting Bethune-Cookman. Friday night, 6 o'clock in Tallahassee. We'll talk about the volleyball standings in a second. Of course, on Saturday, women's basketball is at Howard in D.C. 2 o'clock Eastern is the tip-off. I don't know if that game is on any kind of network TV or not. So stay following at FAMU Athletics. If you guys see any info on that, please update and let us know. Men's basketball, of course, versus Kennesaw State home on Saturday. That'll be on SWAC TV as they host Kennesaw State, the home opener in the Charlie Ward era. Should be a good game. Of course, football traveling to Arkansas Pine Bluff, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 Central. That'll be on HBCU Go. Go. All right, so that's this week. All right. Very quickly here, volleyball over the weekend, Friday and Sunday. Big win over Alabama State, 3-1. Somehow we turned around and lost to Alabama A&M 3-1. I mean, on the heels of a three-game win.
It was the third set. I was watching it. I forgot how we were up. I don't know how many points, but it was like 22 to something. And they just, in the third set, and they came back, and it just, I don't know, after that.
We played opposite with the two teams. Our hitting percentage and our errors were down. Our hitting percentage was up against Alabama State, who so is the better team out of the two teams. And then against Alabama A&M, our hitting percentage was down, and our errors was up. And the game, if you look at the closeness of the sets, that kept us from finishing the games out. And that's kind of been the scores at the Alabama A&M games kind of is in the games that we've lost to the other teams in the conference also.
Yeah, when you see the standings in a second, we are sitting at 6-7 in conference play. Alabama A&M is 7-5. That game is, I mean, Alabama A&M sits in 6th place right now. We are in 8th place. I mean, we're talking about a 2-3 spot difference had we won that game, you know, given what we have upcoming. So yeah, that's a tough one. There's those standings that I mentioned right there. Of course, Bethune-Cookman, who's coming to town, is sitting at 10-3 in 3rd place. We beat the number 4 seed, Alabama State, you know, and then there's Alabama A&M in 6th. So, you know, that could be us right now. But yeah, we are what we are right now. So got an opportunity to play Bethune-Cookman. Got a chance to get a win. We need a big win. So, and I think that's the only game this weekend since it's the Bethune-Cookman game. So I have to play a Friday, Monday. So, yeah. All right. I don't think that's accurate. Nope. Let me move on. All right. So we had a couple of volleyball players of the week in the SWAC, none other than Sydney Whitfield and Mackenzie Taylor. Sydney was the newcomer of the week. Mackenzie was the setter of the week. So congratulations to Sydney. Congratulations to Mackenzie. I think that's maybe the second time Mackenzie has won that award. I think it's the first time for Mackenzie or Sydney, excuse me. So congratulations to those ladies. Upcoming schedule. Again, yep, it's the only game we play during the week. So of the upcoming match schedule, it's the only one that we've got. All right. Kind of wrapping it up here with football. Again, the scores from the past weekend. Marcus, Kelvin, anything from the scores that shocked you across the SWAC the past weekend?
I wouldn't say shock, but body going down again for Alabama State's make these next 2 weeks interesting for them. And then Valley putting up 34 against Bethune kind of stood out. And, of course, our next opponent, UAPB, putting up 40 against a Southern team that we put up 40 against. So,
yeah.
Oh, and Texas Southern, what happened? I told you I didn't trust them Texas schools, but yeah, what happened? Alcorn looked like they riding the ship a little bit.
Yeah. How about you, Marcus?
Yeah. UAPB score. That, well, that's not what we're accustomed to seeing. We definitely don't want to see it this weekend. So that one kind of, I was like, oh, especially coming off of our loss. I'm like, okay. This ain't UAPB from a couple years ago, and this ain't FAM from a couple years ago.
No.
I said that's about it. I thought I know it was I guess they scored a late touchdown for the PV Alabama State game, but I didn't watch it because I was getting ready for the FAM game, but it looked like it was pretty competitive, and for some reason, I don't know, I thought PV was going to pull it out, but most part it was the score of Valley and UAPB. Because typically, we've been in the SWAC. We haven't seen them reach numbers that high almost at any time, much less consecutive weekends or in a given season.
All right, we'll come back. I was just looking at UAPB scoring average. They're number 5 in the conference. Jesus. Averaging 26 a game. Anyway, wow. There's the standings right now. 3-way tie in the East. Of course, Bethune still has to play Jackson State. Alabama State's road, honestly, probably looks the easiest. But now without their quarterback, who knows?
Yeah, that Texas Southern game becomes very tricky for them.
It does.
Yeah, this week. Yeah.
It does. I think on the west side, Prairie View has the tiebreaker over Grambling State and Texas Southern.
Yep.
And really all they have to do is win, I think, one of the next 3 games, and they're in. They're in the SWAC championship game. Because they would have the tiebreakers. Prairie View would have to lose 2 of the next 3. Not sure about that. Yeah. Damn, the fact that Bethune is 4-1, Jesus help me. 5-4. Another thing, Bethune-Cookman, unbeaten record at home this year for the first time since I don't know how long. All right, there's the schedule for this upcoming week. What games kind of pop off the radar for you guys?
Texas Southern, Alabama State, because of the quarterback change. McNair going back to his old stomping grounds as the head coach of Southern is kind of interesting too.
Winless Southern. I think this might be the week they get their first win. Very, very, very big opportunity. You don't think so? You don't think the players will be that hyped for Fred, huh?
Fred ain't playing.
All right, good point. What about you, Marcus? Any spotlight games? Any games? What's the? I think this is all. Yeah, another full week. All 6.
It is.
All 6 games are SWAC v SWAC.
I might be distracted on Saturdays. I might have my phone watching HBCU. Was it HBCU Go that our game is on?
Yeah, our game is on HBCU Go.
Because it's at 3 and the basketball game starts at 2. So I don't know, depending on how it runs, the game might kick off right around halftime of the basketball game or close to it. So we have divided attention. But right now I'm just focusing on our game. I mean, the other thing, I know there are implications and we're kind of pretty much out of the race unless we just like run the rest of the table and something miraculous happens. But yeah, I'm just focusing on our game.
6-2 is possible in conference play, fellas. It is possible. All
it is mathematically possible.
Well, and plus the fact that these teams down the stretch, they all, including us, all have flawed defenses, and some of them have defenses that have put up points. I don't know what you make of that. I don't know what you call that, but I mean, come on. All right. I feel like I'm selling too hard, so I'm going to stop.
Stop it. Stop it.
Man, y'all know good. Y'all know
4
good.
and impossible.
For the possible.
Bryan right here acting like he on the spade table.
I'm going
He
3 in the
telling lies
possible.
left and
I'm
right.
gonna get you. I got 3 in the possible. I'm gonna get you 4. I'm gonna get you 4.
He reneging.
All right. Keys to the game against UAPB. What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to get a victory? Marcus, what do you got?
Well, we have to do something that we haven't really done all year, and that's, the defense needs to come prepared to play. And I mean, it's pretty much almost a carbon copy of last year, where teams were just running all over us. Now I know that Jackson State has the #1 run offense in the SWAC, and I think they're #2 nationally in FCS. But we've been giving up yards to everybody. So I don't know. I read something early in the week, where I guess maybe it's Gerald's article where PB's more emphasis is on the pass versus the run. But if they see the game film for this season, that they might adjust their strategy and just run the ball down our throats, because we haven't shown we can stop it over how many games have we played? 7, 8? And we haven't shown an ability to stop it. So if that ability presents itself, to me, that is the key to the game. I don't know what their defense looks like, but I did see, I read somewhere, and also I think Maya mentioned it, or someone mentioned it, that they're #1. They have the highest number of interceptions, the leading the SWAC in the interceptions. So, depending on,
I'm looking now. Go ahead.
How things go, what our game plan happens to be. If we put in the ball in the air a lot, then there may be opportunity for them to snag one. But I think the key to our game is what the defense is going to look like. What's it going to do?
Kelvin?
For me, it's 2 things that we just don't tend to do. Get off to a fast start offensively and put up points. When we put up points, it tends to settle the team down, and it comes in waves, and we're successful. When we struggle, we keep teams in the game, and this is not a team that has shown that we can come from behind. So on the road, you need to get off to a good start. You need to put 6 on the board, and play a clean game from a not turnover standpoint, cheap as Marcus from a defensive standpoint and special team standpoint. Don't give up cheap touchdowns, on special teams or with explosive plays, because UAPB has some speed. They have some skills on the opposite side of the ball out wide. They have receivers who can make plays. So we need to make them earn it for 4 quarters. And we got to play for 4 quarters. We got to finish.
I was trying to look here. You said receiving here. I'm just looking at some of the SWAC stats. I know they have, in terms of the quarterback, they got the #4 efficient quarterback in the SWAC, Christian Peters. He sits right behind RJ in terms of efficiency. But he has thrown interceptions. He's thrown 10 interceptions. He's thrown 10 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Of course, we're well aware, about the streak, and we are one of the lowest rated turnover teams in the SWAC in the nation. That is what we are. They do have a top 10 rusher. Jalen Jennings comes in at #8 in the SWAC. 629 rushing yards, 5.1 average, averaging just about 70 a game. He has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. So yeah, their defense has committed, or they do have, they're like number 2 in the conference in terms of like interceptions, and they're in the upper third. But again, they're going up against a team that doesn't make a lot of those kind of mistakes. So it'd be interesting. I'm interested to see what UAPB looks like. You know, this is Alonzo Hampton's probably most impressive season in terms of what this team looks like. I mean, this is a 3-5 team, but they could very easily be a 4-4 team, right on the verge of maybe having a 500 season, you know, and this is his 4th year. You know, if I'm UAPB, I wouldn't go away from the man. I think he's just got it right, finally. I mean, assuming he doesn't lose anybody. All right, bold predictions and score time. Let's hear them, folks, in the chats. Let's get them out. Marcus, bold predictions and score. What you got? Bold predictions and score.
Bold prediction. I'm just going to say, okay, we're going to get 200 yards rushing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And score. I'm going to say 28-24 Rattlers.
Ooh, 28-24 Rattlers. Yikes. Kelvin, you want to go, or you want me, or you want to go last?
I'll go. My bold prediction. Is that I'm not going to get my bold prediction. Hadn't done it all season. So, but let's go with, we have a 100-yard receiver who also have 2 touchdowns. And my prediction, I mean, we done broke this team, this coaching staff has broke every streak we had. I don't think we've ever lost to UAPB.
This is only the second time we've ever played them.
No, we've been playing them at least.
We played them at least twice.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. We played them up there. We played them in Bragg for homecoming one year. So, but
okay, you're right. Okay, you're right. This is the third then.
But we'll see if he can savage. If he can savage a streak, let's go. I think it's gonna be a dog fight. So let me go 38-35 FAMU.
Damn, that's real close to what I was gonna say. Okay, bold prediction. First 2 offensive drives, FAMU scores touchdowns. Take that, Kelvin. That's for you.
That's bold. That's bold.
That's bold. That's bold. That's bold. First two offensive possessions, we scored touchdowns. I was also going to go a defensive touchdown as well. I'm going defensive touchdown.
Ooh.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Scoop and score, INT, something. I'm also going with you on the 38 points. FAMU 38, UAPB 31. Because that's just, we just give up 28 plus a game. I mean, we're in the 30s, so we got to outscore them. They give up points. We give up points. High scoring game. If you see a total in the 50s, 53, take the over, because it's gonna be some points put up. I'll be looking for it somewhere. Take the over. But yeah, FAMU 38, UAPB 31. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Ain't no sense in trying to fool yourself. We are what we are at this point, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Be interested to see if any of our nose guards take a penalty on the opening defensive possession. God bless the seasoned Rattler at the 220 Club who wanted
Boss
Cam
man.
Donald. Boss man wanted Cam Donald to be Deacon Jones and come with a head slap on the first play. Jump off sides, that was classic.
Beat somebody.
Beat somebody. He said, you don't have to get a penalty. Just beat somebody. I said, man. I don't know if it works that way, but God help us. If it'd be amazing if it happened. Yeah. So
it's supposed to be hot in Pine, is it? I'm looking at Pine Bluff.
I would imagine it would be cool given this time.
It's a cold blast supposed to be coming because here.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong city.
In Tallahassee, it's supposed to be like in the 30s by Tuesday.
Oh God.
Low 30s.
Okay, it says Saturday for Pine Bluff. It says the high is supposed to be 78, mostly sunny.
What are the lows? Give me the Friday and Saturday rundown, Marcus. What does it say? Since you're there.
Well, it says tomorrow 77 partly cloudy, Friday 79 partly cloudy, and Friday mostly sunny, high of 78, and 16% chance of precipitation. And then it drops to 50s on Sunday.
Oh, we be gone by then. We won't be there for that. So we getting a warm streak. Look at that warm Florida weather coming to Arkansas Pine Bluff. Look at that. All right.
Man, Sunday here in Tallahassee, it go from 83 to 42.
Yeah, boy.
Bipolar.
Hope y'all got y'all flu shots, or you start taking that what is that emergency? Start taking that zinc and everything now, boy, because I'm telling you, this change of weather is gonna have your nose running. All right, that's gonna do it for tonight's show. Got to thank again, everybody. Make sure to thank Dennis Driscoll, Maya Ellison, Antilla, LivForHoops, aka. And make sure to hit them up. Let them know you appreciate them coming on the show. Again, make sure to check out the Monday night review of the Arkansas Pine Bluff game. Keith, Kelvin, maybe Tashay and Ashley. Hopefully Ashley's feeling better. Maybe Mr. Campbell. I don't know. We'll see. We'll kind of do there. And we'll see what happens. Got a lot to talk about. And go check out the BCSN Pod Zone. Everywhere that you listen to podcasts on the BCSN Pod Zone. Subscribe, download, hit the thumbs up, rate, review, all that good stuff. And, yeah. Let me see. Who's coming on? I think he's working. He's got penalty talks coming on Monday night review. All right. Good stuff. Appreciate that, Keith. So, good stuff. Should be a good show. Good to see get the Rattler Nation in there. Make sure to check out Keith's and Things Up podcast tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern. Things Up podcast and the Fang Exchange following at 9, assuming Ashley's feeling well. Maybe it could be just Tashay, but I would imagine if Ashley's not feeling well, maybe she won't do it. But make sure you're following on all social media handles, Fangs Up Podcast, as well as Fang Exchange. All right, guys, do us a favor again. Hit the thumbs up and the like button. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody for sharing the show, all that good stuff. For Marcus and Kelvin, I'm Bryan. God bless you. Have a great week. Stay warm. Fangs up. And we'll see you out on these streets. Make sure to holler at Marcus in D.C. When you see him, give him a shout out. And I'll see any of you Rattlers in Arkansas Pine Bluff. Peace out, everybody.